Hey guys, that sound you hear is my husband coming in from the garage. Anyway, I'm gonna make a roasted chicken today. This is just my very basic roasted chicken. Main ingredients are fresh garlic cloves. I like to use real butter and some coarse salt. I use Himalayan rock salt just because it was what I have. It works best for me. And then I prefer an organic free-range chicken if possible. I feel like the quality of an animal's life has a lot to do with the quality of flavor and nourishment. And then, I don't know, there's also that whole guilt thing. I've been vegan for a lot of years and gone back and forth between eating meat, not eating meat. So yeah, come join me in my not so clean kitchen, because this is life. This is real life. This is my real life, at least. And we're gonna cook. Isn't this the cutest little apron? One of my best friends who I've known and who also incidentally was my grade school teacher at one point, made this for me. I feel chef fabulous. There's just a few simple ingredients and a little bit of know-how behind an excellent baked chicken, and it's one of the staples here in my home. I actually don't like to eat meat very often, and so I take a whole chicken approach to the chicken. It is an incredible thing because when you make yourself a beautiful whole roasted chicken, not only does it yield many, many meals of excellent chicken, but you can use the bones, the skin, whatever is remaining, and boil it into a nutritious bone stock. The stuff that costs $8 a pop at the grocery store is actually phenomenally easy to make at home. It's richer, it's denser, it's more full of excellent proteins and collagens. And one of the favorite things that I like to do during the winter time is have an excellent soup after I've had my roasted chicken made with that stock. So this is a little bit bigger of a chicken than I usually go for. It was organic and free range. Generally, I find that the high quality chickens usually are not more than about 4 pounds. As you can see, this one's a little bit bigger, I'm guessing 5 to 6. So for today, I just put a little bed of carrots underneath it so that the juices can drip down, and those will roast, and they will taste really good after all those roasted juices are on there. I don't have any rosemary in my pantry today. If I had fresh rosemary, I would absolutely be using it. Instead, I have some Italian seasoning from Dry. It's just a nice blend of a couple different things. I believe it has marjoram, thyme, rosemary, savory sage, oregano, and basil. So it's just gonna be an all-around kind of herb to lighten the flavor and enhance the taste of the chicken. I also like to get these pre-peeled garlic cloves. The fresh garlic is an essential ingredient in this to help it taste nice and rich, combined with real butter placed under the skin of the chicken. It will roast, it will also flavor the whole meat of the chicken, the essence of the garlic and the butter combined, so that even if somebody doesn't want to eat a full garlic clove themselves, they still can enjoy the aroma throughout the bird. And then the last ingredients here is just some pink Himalayan sea salt. I like to take a fair quantity of this, place it in my palm, and work all of the salt around the inside of the chicken. And then I also take amounts in my palm and work them under the skin of the chicken before I layer in pieces of butter, garlic, and herb. And then it'll be ready to go in the oven. I'm preheating the oven right now for 385. I'm high altitude here, so I recommend preheating your oven 350 to 375 if you are at sea level. And then here for a higher altitude, I do 375 to 400 to preheat my oven for this bird. Here you can see that I've taken this chicken and it is indeed on the bed of carrots. It's in a roasting pan. I like to put the breast side up because this tends to be where it needs a little bit more flame to cook through. This will also, once we get the butter in there, give it a really yummy braised skin if you enjoy the skin. A lot of people like to truss it and tie the little drumsticks up and make it fancy. You can do that if you want, but I found it's absolutely not necessary. And because I'm just going for a quick dinner, I'm not gonna do anything too fancy to it. Over here, you can see I have about 2 tablespoons of cold salted butter. In this case, salted or unsalted doesn't matter so much. If I were baking, I definitely would pick unsalted. But I've just cut them into some little pieces. Definitely start with your butter cold, because it's going to be so much easier for you to pop it in here and slip it under the breast and just cut it into those smaller pieces in order to really get it spread nicely there. Now, you don't have to worry about putting the butter over your carrots, because it's all gonna drip down along with the fats from the chicken as that cooks. And trust me, there will be plenty of schmaltzy goodness there in this chicken. And then that will in turn season all of those carrots. So I'm gonna finish this process, as you can see, popping the butter under the skin, especially paying close attention to the breast, keeping the breast with the skin over it as I cook it to allow it to benefit from as much of the natural flavor that the fats of the chicken skin are going to add to the breast. I might poke a little bit of the butter inside just to make it yummy, yummy, yummy. And maybe a little over by the thighs, although because those are dark meat, they tend to be fattier anyway, and don't often need that extra butter like the breast can benefit from. You can see I do like to wear gloves as I work with this. I just think it's so much easier to pop these on and off, and that way I can wash my hands afterwards, but I'm less worried about spreading salmonella around the kitchen and other bacteria and germs. I just think for one small little step, it adds a lot of benefit to your kitchen cleanliness. All right, now I'm just gonna pop this sweet little gal into the center rack of the oven over here. And I'm gonna probably go ahead, since it's a bigger bird, and I'm thinking give it a full hour and 15 minutes before I check it. When it is time to check it, I'm just gonna take a nice little poultry thermometer. I'm gonna pop it into some of the densest part of the meat here, down along the thigh, or maybe through some of this really thick breast. And I'm gonna want to see that it's coming out to about 180, which is where I like it. Still juicy, but definitely cooked through, no risk of salmonella poisoning. Some people like it a little bit less done, and it gives me the willies, but teach their own, right? Live and let live. Woo-wee! And here she is. Thank you, Lady Chicken. You can see the skin is crisp, it's bubbly, all of the juices have come out and cooked the carrots below until it's beautiful and tender. And now I am going to demonstrate my meat thermometer is going to go right here into this thicker part of the thigh. And I'm pushing that in. And we are nicely heading to 170. Oh yeah. There she is, 180. Okay. Just a nice little extra check, because sometimes these birds are more frozen in the middle, down through a thick part of that breast. And let her go. And we are, 170 is probably fine, but this has been a total of an hour and 35 minutes, and there's nothing wrong with putting her back in for 10 minutes to hit 180, which is exactly what we're gonna do. But there she is, a beautiful bird, gorgeous, browned, crisp skin, mouth-watering. Add juices that were bubbling up from the bottom. We are going to let it rest for 10, and then we are going to dig into this juicy bird. I wish you could smell it. So buttery, garlicky, in the best of ways, aromatic, and enough said. We're gonna eat it. Have a good night. Till next time. Hey guys, I hope you liked that video. If you did, please like, subscribe. You can also find me at Zita Zava on Instagram and TikTok. And I'm getting ready to turn in for the night. This is my favorite teddy, Tula Bear. I have had this teddy bear, Tula Bear, since I believe my 6th birthday. I got it from a friend, an adult friend who used to watch me. She was so great, and she had a dog that looked so much like this named Tula. Hence, this is Tula Bear. And then my real dogs in person. This is Ozzy. He always is dirty because he loves to dig in the yard and eat dirt, huh, baby? Anyway, his sweet kisses. And Emma, come say hi, Emma. Emma. Hi. All right, so thanks for joining us. We always appreciate having you, and thank you for all of your support. Thanks for watching. Have a great night. We'll see you next time.